Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon here with your NXT review on Tuesday, July 27th, 2021. I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday night watching NXT, and I hope you all enjoyed it, man. I hope you're enjoying your Tuesday. Solid show tonight, nothing too crazy outside of the big turn that we got with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez. We got the eventual turn happened tonight. This was a taped show. And oh, by the way, as you can see, of course, I'm going solo tonight for the NXT review. Cameron Johnson is traveling to Charlotte, North Carolina for AEW tomorrow night. Big shout out to him. He'll be back next week. He's going to the AEW show tomorrow, man. Very excited for him. I'm excited for that. We're actually going to talk about a little bit of it to close off this review. I know, mixing AEW and NXT, but I want to talk a little bit about it before I end this review tonight and before tomorrow's review. So we'll get into that. Tonight's episode, nothing too crazy outside of Samoa Joe and then the Dakota Kai and Raquel thing. So we'll talk about it. Thank you guys for joining me here tonight. I don't really plan on being here that long. Tomorrow night is going to be a long podcast. Tomorrow night I'll be here an hour with Wesley Williams. It's a crazy show tomorrow night, man. Fight for the Fallen, crazy show. I'm going to want to save all my energy and that for tomorrow night's review, man. So I'm going to try to not, and I'm by myself tonight, so I'm going to try and not be here long, 20 minutes tops, and then I'm going to get on out of here, guys. If you have not already, be sure to go check out last night's Monday Night Raw review on the channel. Be sure to go ahead and check that out. We got the whole Nikki Ash thing, Charlotte, and Rhea Ripley. We're 21 views away from 100 views on that one. So if you have not already, be sure to go ahead and check it out, man. But besides that, let's get into NXT tonight. Like I said, NXT was nothing too crazy. Show started off with Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan against Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. This was a fun tag team match, man. We got a big face off between Dunne and Tommaso Ciampa. If those guys were to go one-on-one, man, that would be a freaking great match. I would absolutely want to see that match one-on-one. But we got the ending of Ciampa having a crossface in on Dunne. And Thatcher had a ankle lock in on Lorcan on the outside. And then in came Ridge Holland. If you guys remember, Ridge Holland suffered a serious injury I believe it was last fall in September. He suffered a terrible knee injury. He was supposed to catch Oni Lorcan on a suicide dive, and his knee buckled, and he got carried off a stretcher. It was horrible. Horrible injury for Ridge, and he's back tonight. He looks great. I don't know where he's going to fit into all of this, but he's back. Looks like he's aligned himself with Pete Dunne and Oni Lorcan. And when eventually Danny Burch comes back, we got that nice four-person stable with Ridge Holland, Pete Dunne, and then you got the tag team back of Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch. So that ain't a bad stable, but I guess Ridge Holland fits into this. So we'll see, but good match. Nothing too crazy. Ridge Holland's back. Glad to see him back. We're going to get into Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe. He walked out after being very pissed off last week, and with Karrion Kross attacking William Regal. Now, I got news on Karrion Kross that we're going to talk about here tonight. Considering this is NXT, we're going to talk about it here tonight. It was reported last week that these were taped shows. By the way, this week and next week are taped shows. So just to let you guys know. So, there was a report that came out by Bodyslam.net that Karrion Kross's entrance, I believe it's for next week's show because we didn't see him tonight. It was excuse me. Very tired today from another long day of work. Thankfully, I'm off tomorrow. But Karrion Kross's entrance for next week's show was reshot because of loud chants of Hardy chanting around the Capitol Wrestling Center. So Triple H and Shawn Michaels came out at the end and told the fans to stick around for a surprise. But then they just did Karrion Kross's entrance again, and there was no surprise, and fans were actually lied to. So, lying to the fans, and this Karrion Kross thing, man, from last week, it's going to stick with him for a very, very long time. You know, they had something incredible. They had something incredible with this Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe stuff. It was very, very good. But then, of course, Kross goes to the main roster for one night to face Jeff Hardy. And in a snap of a finger in 2 minutes, WWE, Vince and Bruce fuck Kross all up, and that now it's affected the storyline in NXT with Samoa Joe, because you can have this whole segment was Joe becoming an active wrestler in NXT, quitting management, and facing Karrion Kross for the NXT title at TakeOver. It was a great segment, short, simple, right to the point. 5 segments. Samoa Joe's fantastic on the microphone, but with what they did last week to Kross still in effect, it not only has it damaged himself, Kross going forward, not only has it damaged himself, but it has damaged his feud with Samoa Joe. His feud with Samoa Joe does not feel the same. His feud with Samoa Joe does not feel like a bigger deal than it should be. Is it big? Yeah, it's big. You got 2 great guys, 2 great wrestlers. Main eventing TakeOver. Karrion Kross and Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. But this should be a bigger deal. You would have the speculation of, is Karrion Kross on the brisk of his first loss not only in NXT but in WWE to Samoa Joe? Is he going to no longer be the NXT champion? Can you imagine that story of teasing Kross's first loss to a guy who is believable as Samoa Joe? That story would be great. But WWE main roster, of course, had to F it all up and change what shouldn't have been changed. So Kross is going to drop the title to Joe, and it's not going to feel like a big deal, because Kross is looked at as a loser after being jobbed out in 2 minutes in his first night. He looks like a loser, does Kross, and I hate saying that. So What are you going to do, you know? First round of the NXT Breakout Tournament, Carmelo Hayes versus Josh Briggs. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There were certain points on the show I was just zoning off on my phone, on YouTube, whatever. And this was definitely one of the points, so I heard people say this match is great, so I'm going to have to go back and watch it. I did. I did not watch the full match. I watched some of the match. I saw the ending. Carmelo Hayes got the win over big man Josh Briggs, who that was actually my pick to win the breakout tournament. Josh Briggs was my pick to win, and he got knocked out in the first round by Carmelo Hayes. And he's going to go up against Duke Hudson. I don't know why I thought about the football player Duke Johnson, but Duke Hudson. That's who Carmelo Hayes is going to go up against in the second round. I honestly don't know who wins that match. We'll just have to wait and see, I guess. But if I had to pick, I'm going to go Carmelo Hayes. I'm going to say he makes it all the way to the finals, and he's going to go up against big man Odyssey Jones. So we'll have to see what happens with the breakout tournament. Then we had probably the biggest thing in the entire night. Excuse me. Probably the biggest thing of the entire night. You guys see it in the title right there. Biggest thing that happened tonight. Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez were in the ring together. And I had already known this since last Wednesday when the NXT tapings took place. Someone spoiled it for me. Someone sent me a tweet. And it was a video of Dakota Kai turning on Raquel Gonzalez. It's a short promo saying that Dakota's like, as long as you're the champion, I've got your back, and you're always going to be the champion, and you're unstoppable. You're the most unstoppable woman in NXT history. More impressive than Asuka, Charlotte, Shayna Baszler, Rhea Ripley, all of that. Dakota Kai then told Raquel to go celebrate, hold up her title, and she was just getting Raquel ready in position. Dakota Kai gives Raquel Gonzalez the haluva kick right to the face, and Dakota Kai turns on Raquel Gonzalez. You can't trust Dakota Kai, bro. You can't trust her. She turned on Tegan Nox in War Games. And now tonight she has turned on Raquel Gonzalez. And we are all but confirmed a NXT Women's Championship match with Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez at NXT TakeOver 36. It was going to happen sooner rather than later. And this was the perfect time for it to happen. This show, not tonight's show, but the next TakeOver show, is the right place for them two women to do the match. Now, as far as who's going to win the match, I don't know. Time will tell. With the build and the story they tell, we are just going to have to wait and see how this match folds and who's going to win. I don't think this is a one-match feud. I think this will fold into post-takeover and possibly into the next takeover in October. And then maybe we blow it off then. But I see this feud going further than SummerSlam weekend for takeover. So Dakota Kai turns on Raquel Gonzalez. It was going to happen sooner rather than later. I'm glad it happened. And I'm honestly not even mad that it was Dakota Kai who turned on Raquel, because, in my opinion, Dakota is much better as a heel than she is a babyface. That's just me. So, I am perfectly fine with everything that happened. I'm sure the story is going to be great, And I think we're in for a great NXT Women's Championship match when it gets confirmed for NXT TakeOver 36. We had Imperium against Hit Row, Ashanti the Adonis, and Top Dollar. Let me just say this about Top Dollar, man. Yeah, I know Triple H loves him. Triple H is protecting him. Triple H sees a lot in Top Dollar, but this guy has a far way to go as a wrestler. He has a far way to go. This guy is, I don't want to say not good, but he needs a lot of work. That's the nicest way I'll put it to you. He needs a lot of work in the ring. I'm not saying he's garbage or he's not like who's really bad. I'm not saying he's Braun Strowman like bad, but he needs work. He really needs work in the ring. Ashanti's good. Ashanti took the pin after Top Dollar was distracted by Santos Escobar. Ashanti gets set up for the Imperium powerbomb into an elbow. Imperium beats Hit Row, and more than likely we're going to get MSK defending the Tag Team Championships against Imperium whenever that happens. Could be a TakeOver. Could be on an NXT episode. I'm not so sure. But Imperium is absolutely your next number one contenders for the tag team titles. They beat Hit Row. We get Escobar trying to attack Top Dollar. Top Dollar fights it off. Escobar goes to the top rope. He gives Top Dollar a drop kick. Swerve comes into the ring with a steel chair, chases off Legado del Fantasma, and it was announced next week that we're going to get Hit Row versus Legado del Fantasma, Raul Mendoza, and Joaquin Wilde. So, got two feuds going in at the same time here. We got building up Imperium to be the next challengers for MSK. And we got the feud between Santos Escobar and Isaiah Scott continuing for the NXT North America Championship, which that match is more than likely going to happen at TakeOver as well. And I'm liking everything about that feud with Legado del Fantasma and Hit Row, man. There's no doubt in my mind that Hit Row are absolutely baby faces on the roster now, even though I don't know if it was just me, but these guys got no reaction to their entrance. They literally just had the crowd just sit on their hands and not say a word. It's what it felt like, but on TV it felt like that. It came off like they got no reaction, but that's just me. And then the main event we had Adam Cole against Bronson Reed. 15 minutes, good match, very good match, probably my favorite match of the night. Adam Cole gets the win as expected, and this is probably Bronson Reed's swan song on the way to burial, because he will now be in the hands of Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard after being rumored for months that he would be going up to the main roster, either Raw or SmackDown. There's still lots for him to do in NXT. It is way too early, in my opinion, to be calling up Bronson Reed. But the way it feels, and just the way I look at Bronson Reed, I'm thinking this guy's going up sooner rather than later, and he's probably going to be in the draft after SummerSlam. So Bronson Reed is more than likely gone, and he's going to be going to burial with Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard on Monday or Friday. We'll have to see. But Adam Cole wins after the match. Kyle O'Reilly runs down. He hits him with a steel chair. Gives Adam Cole a brainbuster onto the steps. That was NXT. That was NXT tonight. Okay show. It's just, I don't know. Something's off, especially with the whole Karrion Kross last week. NXT had really good momentum for themselves. After In Your House, they had a they did not have a good takeover. I wouldn't say it was bad at In Your House, but it wasn't great. It wasn't like a normal takeover was In Your House. But after that takeover, they've been doing some pretty damn good television, and it's just fell off after Karrion Kross was buried from Jeff Hardy last week. So that's NXT tonight. And guys, before we get out of here, we got Dynamite tomorrow night. We got Fight for the Fallen. And I know I'm not going to be able to talk about it on a review because, of course, we're reviewing AEW tomorrow night. But a lot of people on social media are... Excuse me. Something stuck in my throat. But a lot of people on Twitter are debating how this match, this main event, Survivor Series like 5-on-5 match with the Elite and the Dark Order and Hangman Page is going to go. And this is my theory of it. You might disagree with it. I mean, really quickly, you might disagree with it. You might not. My AEW co-host, Wesley Williams, tonight posted an entire thread of what he thinks is going to happen in this 5-on-5 match. So go ahead and check it out on his Twitter page. Take a read through it. And let him know if you agree with what he says. But the way I think of it is I trust Tony Khan. I have been conditioned, unlike the main roster, to not trust Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard, with these Dynamite shows being freaking excellent almost every single week, from great to excellent shows. I have been conditioned to trust Tony Khan. So you know what? I trust Tony Khan to book this way, to book this match, as to making the champion strong in defeat. That means the Young Bucks and especially Kenny Omega. Because if you don't do, why would you not want to do Page right now? Hangman Page is super over, and he's got this great momentum behind him. And you got the Dark Order there. You got Hangman. If they win, they get if they win, they get their title shots. Hangman goes for the world title. Dark Order go for the tag team titles. If they don't win, is Hangman going to feel the same? Is Hangman Page going to feel the same, especially with potentially CM Punk and Bryan Danielson in AEW? Is he going to feel the same if he does not win at All Out? I don't know. So we need to go all in on Adam Hangman Page and the Dark Order getting this win tomorrow night. This is their moment. Tomorrow night is their night. They need this win more than the Elite do, I think. Dark Order and Hangman, especially for the Dark Order, I think. They have been not really much relevancy in a very long time. And now they're in the top program on Dynamite. I think with how over the Dark Order are, with how over Hangman Page is, if they win tomorrow night, Charlotte, North Carolina is going to go crazy. And you are not going to have a better wrestling crowd of 2021 than September 5th at the Now Arena in Chicago with 10,000 plus people chanting cowboy shit and chanting for the Dark Order. You do those matches at All Out. Hangman versus Omega and the Young Bucks versus the Dark Order. You do them at All Out. No holding back, no pushing up back, no delays. So if you want my final decision on who's gonna win tomorrow night's 5-on-5, it's gotta be Hangman Page and the Dark Order. No question. No question they beat the Elite tomorrow night. I might be wrong. The Elite might come out as winners tomorrow night. But if I was booking this and if I was Tony Khan, I'm going all in on Hangman Page and the Dark Order. It's time to do it. It's time. It's Hangman's time, and it's the Dark Order's time as well. So, there you go. There's my opinion on that big 5-on-5 match. Guys, thank you so much for watching this review. If you have not already, be sure to subscribe to the Big Fight Field channel. Like I said, man, massive review tomorrow night. Fight for the Fallen. We got the Elite versus Dark Order, Survivor Series 5-on-5. Nick Gage versus Chris Jericho. Lance Archer for defending the IWGP US title. It's going to be a huge night tomorrow night, man. Super, super excited to talk about AEW tomorrow night with Wesley Williams, and you're going to want to be subscribed for it. So if you haven't already, hit that sub button. We're 3 subscribers away from 420 subs here on the channel, man. Comment down below your thoughts about tonight's episode of NXT. Hit the like button if you like what you heard from me in tonight's review. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Colin_Joseph. And guys, I will see you tomorrow night with Wesley Williams for the AEW Fight for the Fallen review here on the channel, man. So you guys have a good night. Stay safe. And as always, stay classy.